Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here, and let's go ahead and take a look at the Moto G5 Plus from Lenovo. It's actually being sold on Amazon. You can buy it unlocked for $300 or unlocked with some Amazon ads for $240, so a little bit subsidized with some ads on the device. Anyways, I will link to it down below, but let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you what's in the box, give some first impressions, and give you an overall closer look at the device. Let's get started. So Moto G5 Plus from Lenovo. I did get the fine gold. They also have lunar gray as well. The 64 gigabyte model comes with 4 gigabytes of RAM as opposed to 32 gigs and 2 gigabytes of RAM. So let's get started. Popping this guy open right away. Moto G5 Plus lets you know some information such as that 12 megapixel camera, 5.2 inch 1080p display, 2 gigahertz Snapdragon 625 processor for those of you wondering, along with turbocharging. Let's go ahead and peel that guy off and power this guy on. So pressing and holding, boots it up. I'm going to set it to the side for just a second and see what else is in the box. Shouldn't take long because there are some booklets. Whoops. README, all that good stuff. Set that over to the side. Looks like a SIM ejection tool if you wanted to take a quick peek at that. Little plastic one. And then your AC adapter right here, which does say turbo power on it. Nice little Hello Moto boot animation, and then what seems to be your micro USB charging cable, USB Type A to micro USB as well. And that's it. Empty box from there. Welcome. Let's get started. Before we talk about software, I want to take a closer look at the hardware on this device, and it does have a 12 megapixel rear camera. Down at the bottom here is your headphone jack, microphone, micro USB slot. On the left side, completely flush, absolutely nothing. On the top is where that SD card slot is, and a micro SD card slot as well. On the right side, volume up, down, and power button. Absolutely no way to differentiate between them in terms of a texture difference. There's a little gap in between them, however. Now, on the front of the device, you have that fingerprint scanner. It is not a physical button. And then you do have an earpiece, camera, and some sensors up at the top. And here's just a closer look at that gold color. There is a bit of a shinier accent that does go around the device. So I figured I'd give you guys a bit of a closer look for those of you considering this specific color over the gray. Anyways, moving along, let's go ahead and run through the startup. Now I'm going to go ahead and only talk about anything that's out of the ordinary. So first up, let's set up that fingerprint scanner. So get ready. You just need to tap it a bunch of times, let go, like every other fingerprint scanner. And should be done. There we go. We can add more if you'd like to. I'm not going to for time's sake. And you see you can lock your phone, press and hold to turn off the display, which is a nice little addition, nice little feature you can add to that. Control lock screen, I'm going to finish this up. You'll see, get the best out of Moto. You can turn this off or on if you'd like to, and there we have it. And that's it. We are now on our home screen, and as you can see, they have added a launcher that is kind of similar to the Pixel launcher in terms of swiping up and swiping down. Swipe to the left to get your Google Now cards. Let's go ahead and go into settings and go to About Phone. It is running Android 7.0 Nougat right out of the box, which is nice, especially for a budget device. Now next, I want to go ahead and jump into storage to see how much storage you get out of the box, out of that 64 gigs. You'll see 11.3 gigs is used out of it. So to give you an idea, I have not taken any pictures, anything like that. And speaking of pictures, let's load up that camera. Shutter button, tap anywhere, which way you'd like to do it. I'm going to choose shutter button. I don't want a location tag. Quick capture, and you can scan QR and barcodes, which is a nice little addition to Motorola's camera app, which isn't on stock Android. It's kind of a bummer. Anyways, let's go ahead and snap a quick picture. Snap another one. All right, so you'll see shutter lag's pretty good. Not much lag time in between pictures. Obviously more to come in my full review. Next up, let's go ahead and test that fingerprint scanner. So, from a completely locked screen, press and hold that fingerprint scanner, and very quick. Try once more. Unlocks it right away. Of course, you can do so with your finger on the home button. And you don't need to press the power button to lock it. You can just press and hold that lock button, and you can go ahead and lock your screen. I also want to make note that, let's say, for example, I'm in the messaging app. Pressing this button does absolutely nothing. The only other action it has is pressing and holding, which will actually unlock your device. Otherwise, you have to use one of those soft buttons down at the bottom, the back home or recent apps buttons as well. And as usual, something Motorola does really well is make everything look very similar to stock Android in terms of all the settings, those quick panels up here as well. Now they add a little tweaks in terms of Moto right here. So hi, make Moto yours. React to movement, twist your wrist twice to open the camera, swiping through. Notify at a glance as well. So go ahead and hit next, and you'll see here, basically this is going to notify you while your display is completely off. You can block specific apps or show how much detail. So I'm going to show all, and vibrate on touch as well. So if I go ahead and go back, like I said, there's gestures. So one button nav, use fingerprint sensor to navigate. So you can add specific ones. You can go ahead and turn these on, and I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate them. So turning it on, you'll see swipe left to go back, swipe right for recent apps. So instead of using those on-screen buttons, so you'll see if I swipe left, it should go back a screen. If I swipe right, it should go to my recent apps. And I think this actually activates pressing the home button. Sorry, if I just tap it, it will go back home now. So that does activate that. It might take a little bit to get used to, but I think I'm going to like that, especially because then you can use apps in full screen mode. So chop twice for flashlight, turns on. Chop twice, turns off as well. Oops, accidentally pressed one. Twist for quick capture. I can quickly double twist. You'll see it will go into my camera app. Let's see another one. Swipe to shrink screen. So swipe up. Let's go ahead and turn it on. So if I go ahead and swipe up, there we go. It goes to shrink screen, a more one-handed mode. You can tap out of it to go to that. Let's try another one. Pick up to stop ringing, lift phone, and it's going to stop ringing, and then flip to do not disturb to just flip it upside down to do not disturb. So some nice, actually useful additions to the OS on top of essentially that stock Android that they run. Finally, taking a look, there's really no bloatware either out of the box. You see FM radio, and that's pretty much it. So that would be my unboxing of the Moto G5 Plus. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, click that thumbs up, click that subscribe button as well. A review coming on this device very soon. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching.